Hi everyone, we are here with Sonja President of IFOTES, and Diana Rucli, Director of IFOTES, the International Federation of Telephone Emergency Services. So during the coronavirus emergency, all the countries in Europe adopted severe measures for the quarantine, which caused isolation and distress to people. The helpline all over Europe provided a listening service and detected an increase of calls, about 20 to 40% from people calling to speak with somebody at the helpline. So, Sonja, what was the role of the helpline during the coronavirus emergency?
I think the role of the helplines became even more important during this crisis because even more people were feeling lonely. Loneliness was always a topic for us, now even more, and a lot of them had to stay home and isolated. So I think we had a more important role than before. And also we had a big challenge by providing safe environments for the volunteers working.
And what was the role of IFOTES during the emergency?
As always, I think communication was very important. IFOTES was and is managing a lot of requests too about the impact of the corona crisis, also coming from the outside. And we are always supporting members by sharing experience and supporting them with our information on the website. And maybe Diana, you can add.
Yeah, I think that during the coronavirus emergency, we had the possibility to test what is the capacity of the helplines. They are system working on emergency, is in the name, telephone emergency services, and I think that they could really intervene in a very efficient way to reorganize themselves in order to meet the needs of the callers. So that is something we were not surprised. We shouldn't be surprised about that, but I think we should be very proud of the effort that the helpline did during this time, over this time, to really be present and answer the phone calls. So the role of IFOTES in all this was to facilitate, as Sonja said, the communication, sharing, because when single countries and single organizations have to implement new tools, a new way, also on the organizational level to handle the availability of the volunteers, you need good inputs and good information also from your colleagues and from other helplines. So I think that the key role of IFOTES during these 3 months was really to facilitate the circulation of information about the organizational level or how to implement some services and activities for the advantage of everybody, of the whole community.
Course. Taking into account what Diana just said, Sonja, how is supposed to develop the service after the coronavirus emergency, the listening service, of course?
Well, I think first, for sure, we will develop more trainings, or we will adjust the trainings to special situations like the one we had or we still have now. And I think we should also aim more and more for 724 services all over. Of course, we should aim for more members, more countries to have telephone helplines. That would be something too. And I also think that we might have to develop more, to be here more also for younger people, especially in the next years. We're working on this already, but now I think the long-term impact of this crisis might be very severe for younger people, not only for elderly people, economically, of course, too.
And what will be the role of IFOTES in this change?
But it's not only the role, I think it's also maybe some expectations. As I said before, working on having more 724 helplines, supporting small helplines or supporting new helplines to build up, to develop special trainings, and of course, hopefully, having another triennial congress for all the volunteers, and maybe really talking at the next congress, thinking and talking about crises like the one we had or we are having.
And to me, I completely agree with Sonja, and I add also the possibility to make an evaluation of how helplines have reorganized the service, and take the best practice that they experienced in this last period, in order to make a step forward ahead to improve technologies also in helplines and use it for the best. I mean, helplines started 6 years ago with the telephone. That was something completely new 6 years ago. And over the 60 years, we started with the chat, with the internet, with the text messaging, so with many new tools. In these circumstances of the coronavirus, many other tools were tested, and we have, I think, a big chance for improving the service through the new technology. So this is something challenging, but also stimulating thinking about the future of helplines.
So challenging and stimulating. And what are the measures that Europe should adopt for the helpline, and what role can play IFOTES at European level to face these challenges?
I think that this is the role of IFOTES to work on the European level, especially in the European level, because we have a majority of members from Europe. We started already more than 10 years, 12 years ago, working with the European Union on that level, when IFOTES asked the 116123 number for helplines, providing emotional support. And since that time, many helplines, members of IFOTES or even not members of IFOTES, started in their country this unique number. I think that after this experience that affected everybody, not only in Europe, but all over the world, it's quite important to have a service that everybody can recognize easily everywhere. So I think that a big effort must be done in the future to implement the 116123 number in all countries where there is a national organization of helpline.
I totally agree with this one number. I really hope we will go into this direction. And at the end, I have nothing to add here, but I really want to say something. I'm very proud and I'm very grateful to be a president of this organization with so many volunteers who dedicate themselves day and night to everybody who needs help. And so a big thank you to the management office, grazie, and a big thank you to all of you and all the volunteers.
Thank you, Sonja, and thank you, Diana, for all your information, and best wishes to IFOTES, of course. Bye bye.
All the environment of
Bye.
Bye bye.